Hey guys, happy Thursday. We got one more day. One more day until Friday. Hey, we're at a point now where Friday is starting to mean something again. I know that Friday always means something. We all work from home. We all look forward to Friday. But remember, in the pandemic, for the first 6-7 months, for people that were sheltering in place and taking it pretty seriously, like Friday was the same as Tuesday, the same as Saturday. There wasn't a whole lot to do. Everything was shut down. It didn't make a difference if it was Friday or Wednesday. But now Friday's starting to mean something again, right? We're starting to get to a point where Friday rolls around. You're like, hey, the weekend is here. And we're slowly opening back up, and sports are back. You can go to an A's game. The A's won last night. But they start 0-6, and they finally won one. But I know my buddy Lucas is pretty pumped. I wish I watched more baseball on TV. I love going to a baseball game. I'll go to a baseball game all day long. Baseball games are one of my favorite things. I haven't been to a baseball game in so long. I was in Oakland a couple of years ago, and I got really good first baseline tickets at the Coliseum for a day game for like $40. It was the first time I'd been back to the Coliseum in like 20 years. It was the first time I'd been back to the Coliseum since my dad passed away, for sure, because that was where he and I went all the time. My dad was a huge A's fan. I was a Reds fan. I liked Pete Rose. Charlie Hustle was kind of my jam. But we didn't live in Cincinnati. We lived in Northern California. So we went to Oakland A's games. So Giants days were where it was at for us. My first baseball game was a Giants game at Candlestick, but my dad's love was the Oakland A's and a now defunct Sacramento minor league team called the Sacramento Solons. So anyway. Baseball's back. We are now back in the stands, right? Slowly opening back up. Fridays are meaning something again. So let's do this. Let's have a weekend tomorrow. Let's get through today, get through tomorrow, and then have a gosh darn weekend. A friend of mine was down in Huntington Beach this week, and it looked gorgeous down there. I forget how awesome a Southern California sky looks, right? When you look up at it, it always has that really cool cloud pattern. So anyway, we got our weekend coming up. I wanted to talk about the nicest thing that anybody has ever done for you, like a random good morning, Crystal, that you've never met before. If you were listening to the program earlier, Shaquille O'Neal just paid off some dude's engagement ring, right? But not like he went out and like sought the guy out. He went into a jewelry store to buy some earrings, and there was a guy that came in that said, I need to know how much I have left on my engagement ring. He was trying to pay it off. And Shaquille O'Neal was like, hey, guy, I got that for you, no problem. And then he came out and said, I try and do that like once a day. I try and do something like that for somebody. So 2 takeaways here. 1, I need to figure out where Shaquille O'Neal is hanging out at, and then just randomly pop up and talk about the bills that I need paid off, and hope that he hears me and decides that he's going to be generous that day. 2, Shaquille O'Neal is a super nice guy. I have a real love-hate relationship with Shaquille O'Neal. Mostly love, some hate. He was a Laker for the longest time. The Lakers and Kings matchups in the early aughts, the early 2000s. Those were some legendary matchups, right? Same thing with Kobe Bryant. A love-hate. You can't speak ill of the dead. But when he was a Laker during those early 2000s defeating the Kings, I hated Kobe Bryant. And then when he was no longer a Laker, the Kings were no longer good, then I could appreciate Kobe Bryant. But back in 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, me and Kobe were not friends. Neither were me and Shaq. But Shaq is a legitimately good guy, and he does pretty awesome stuff. And he's also a part owner of the Sacramento Kings. So I guess, tip of the hat in that regards. But legit, this morning, if you want to drop it in the comments, what's the nicest thing that a random person has just ever done for you, like out of nowhere? My buddy Kirk and I went up to Reno. This goes back. This is a long time ago, back when cell phones were pretty new, and so you had to have your credit ran just to get one. And then it was like 60 cents a minute or something. So they always throw out these crazy promotions to get you to buy a $1,000 flip phone and pay 65 cents a minute. And one of those promotions was if you have oh man, I can't even remember what the company was back then. It was like a Pack something or whatever. Anyway, if you have one of these, call right now and we'll give you a free room at the Circus in Reno. So my buddy called, you got a free room, right? So we went up there, middle of February. It is snowing like crazy. We're coming back from Reno and we're going over the Donner Pass and we get stuck. It's shut down, right? We're not going anywhere. So Kirk and I are like 18-year-old kids. We got like $7 in our pocket, right? We're not stopping to get lunch or dinner. And we don't have any chains. And now it's chain requirements. So we stop at this, good morning, Bernadette. We stop at this diner that we have to, because we have to be there for hours until the road open back up. And these truckers are in there. We're asking them, what do we do if we don't have chains? Like we have chains, but we're missing a piece. And so these truckers get together and they like piece together chains for the car. And then they're all like, hey, but you're missing this one piece that you absolutely have. It's this little hook. You absolutely have to have it. And the only place around here that has them is this hardware store up the street. So here's $5. Go buy one of those hooks. I expect to get this money back. Kirk never sent him the money back, but the only way we made it home that day, we would have made it home eventually, but the only way we made it home that day was all the truckers on the Donner Pass, like, all got together and helped a couple of 18-year-old kids out who had no idea how to drive in the snow and certainly had no business driving in the snow, but we did it anyway. So if you could drop in the comments, let's get this Thursday off to a really positive start. The nicest thing that somebody ever randomly did for you, you didn't even know them. Or if you want to humble brag, because you're the most humblest, right? The most nicest thing you've ever done for somebody and you didn't even know them. We won't judge you for bragging. We love those stories. All right. A couple of housekeeping things to keep in mind here. We do have your National Fast Money keyword. It is in effect right now. If you want to hop back over to the FM side, you can grab the word that you can text to win right now between 8 and 9 o'clock. Otherwise, we'll have a brand new word coming up right at 9 o'clock. We're going to have words every day. Or every hour throughout the day with Blogger Ashley and Angie Good. And also don't forget that Blogger Ashley has your All Request Lunch Hour, which is coming up here in 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30. I count on my fingers, 3.5 hours away now. And 3.5 hours away, you can get your request. And you can get your request in right now, actually, so she can get started on it. Hello. Is it Aletta or Alita? I'm going to say Alita. Aletta. Either way, I love those hearts. Heart. I think that's the first time we ever did that. First time and it came out okay. Heart. I did it twice in a row. Okay, cool. So anyway, make sure, hi Christelle, make sure you get your request into Blogger Ashley. Make sure you're using the right hashtag KHOP request, right? Hashtag KHOP request, and then either the message that you wanted to send out or the dedication, or like maybe your dog just passed away, or like, can you make up a family member that just passed away and then pass that along to her and ask her to do that dedication? I don't know if she will or not, but I mean, I'd like to see her wrestle with making that decision of whether or not to say something. I love Ashley. All right. Hey, guys, have a great day. Don't forget your chance at $25,000 with the National Fast Money keyword. Again, on the FM side, it's happening right now. It'll happen again at 9 o'clock. We'll see you over there, okay?